Okay, I'm making a video for you, as I said before, so that because it's kind of long and I don't want to. I don't want you to get. I don't want you to have to read all of it. If you don't want to read all of it, I don't want you to be overwhelmed. So I'm going to try to talk slow so that you can get everything in. Hopefully this will make sense. So I'm going to read what I already put in the comment, the beginning, because it's funny. Okay, I promise that you're going to love this one. It's a real winner. A hot dog wiener, a cutie patootie, a bona fide booty, man in the moody, man in the moony, oh, also in the moody, butterbone, woomy, as in W-O-M-B, as in the uterus woomy, key winger, because you need to have a key to get into that wing of the suite, like a wing of the house. I found the middle lane and I'm taking it. If you can bear with my long toilet paper scroll of bare butt digest wordage here, I think you'll at least chuckle a wappy taffy. A little nonsense now and then is treasured by the wisest men. Who said that? It was Willy Wonka. Okay, so this is Kay Sokol's thesis handed over to Professor Kay Evans. Could it be Kevins or Kay Evans? I think it's Kay Evans. Okay, as far as the rib goes, I used to think the penis was like a rib. Not sure why I thought that, but I did. Anyways, I also thought that the penis is the 21st phalange. Phalanges are toes and fingers, as in finger winger, toe majiggy, fitting as a woody shoehorn into the lady's vajayjay shoe. So the pee-pee is like a toe fitting like a wooden shoe, a shoehorn, which is like a wooden shoe, into the lady's vajayjay shoe, like a glove, like fingers in a glove. And for him, the man with the woody shoehorn sticking out, also known as his 21st toe, between his legs, for him to foot the bill as a shoehorn, to foot the bill of all their baby ducklings, also known as wacky, quacky peoples, tee hee hee and ha ha ha. Okay, but since we're ribbing biology with the elbows of ribbing humor, I just found out from a person who I can't remember his name. I just found out that the bone that God took from Adam to make Eve was the baculum, which is the penis bone. Okay, so this makes sense because evolutionists insist that humans had a baculum, a penis bone, but somehow the penis bone was lost for the reason of monogamy. Now, this is what evolutionists say. It was lost for the reason of monogamy. That's interesting. So the Hebrew texts speak of Sela or Zela, spelled T-S-E-L-A or T-Z-E-L-A, which in this context means side or rib, something correlated to the spine. As far as the word side, this would be the front side, not the back side, or not the parallel sides where you've got your arms and legs. Okay, so it would be the front side. The word Sela, T-S-E-L-A, if anagrammed, also spells tails, T-A-L-E-S, or T-A-L-E-Z, like tailbone. Well, tailbone would be spelled T-A-I-L, but it's still the same sound. It's like the same word, just spelled different. Okay, the end of the spine is the coccyx, the tailbone. T-S-E-L-A, as in Sela with the silent T, and tails, as in T-A-L-E-S, tails, and they all sound the same if you mix up the letters, which is interesting. So the coccyx is in alignment with the baculum and the birth canal. So that would be the side, the rib that they're speaking of. It's a side of the body that's missing a bone, and that's the only bone that is missing from humans. Okay, and evolutionists agree with this. Now, I don't know if evolutionists are aware of this person who says that the penis bone was the bone that was taken out to make Eve, but anyways. So, if you take your fingernail and you scratch along the coccyx, your tailbone, with a fingernail, the nerve endings can be felt in the birth canal. It's like a zinger going up and down your birth canal. It's really weird. I found this out when I was a kid exploring my own body, and it felt very unpleasant and weird, to say the least. You know, just scratching up along that area, it feels weird because you can feel it in your pee-pee, in your birth canal. So there is a connection there. So by nerves, it's a connection of nerves. Now, the baculum is a bone that is, it does not connect to any other bone. It's just a bone in the penis of other animals. So anyways, although rare, a few human males have been born with bone fragments in their penis. So this is the body attempting to go back to its original penis components of bones by growing random bone fragments. This is an indicator that males did at one time have a baculum. Why would there be bone fragments growing in random males' penises, which is very rare, if there wasn't bone there to begin with at one point, which has been taken out somehow for some reason, right? Whether it's evolutionary or whether it was just taken out by God. However it was done, it was God doing it. Either way. So the majority of mammals have a penis bone, the baculum. Now we know why it's called a boner, right? But seriously, folks, I always wondered why it was called a boner, since there's no bone in there, in the man's penis. There's no bone in there. Why are they calling it a boner, right? I guess some scientists who knew that animals had bones in their penis, they were probably the ones who came up with the term, oh, I got a boner, right? They were probably the ones who came up with that. Because anybody else wouldn't know that there was a bone in the penis unless they were educated in that, which most people are not. And I don't even know if they teach that in high school, unless you're going to get into like biology and I don't know, maybe they did. If you took biology, maybe, I can't remember if I took biology or not. I think we were supposed to take it, but I don't remember learning about a penis bone unless I missed that day. So perhaps we do learn about it. I don't remember. So anyways, moving on. The only two creation stories to speak of the rib side, which rib and side are considered kind of the same word in the Bible when they talk about a rib or a side, like the side of a boat is like a rib of a boat, however they use it in the Bible, it's not always about, the human body. It's the side of a building or the side of a boat, and they'll call it the rib. So anyways, the only two creation stories that speak of the rib or the side are the Sumerian creation story and the Old Testament creation story. So although both stories are similar, they greatly conflict. Now, get this. If Satan is a fact, we're going to theorize right now. If Satan is a fact, then he would have twisted the truth with lies, because that's what Satan does. Okay? And he would have planted the creation knowledge into the minds of Sumerians, whereas Moses was listening to God, not demons. Now, why can I be so sure of this? I will tell you right now. This is because the Bible itself has historical facts, archaeological facts, 2,000 fulfilled prophecies that are without error, and 500 more prophecies yet to come. Okay, all of those prove the Bible to be a fact. The Sumerian history hasn't any evidence to back up an undeniable completion. Okay, so the Bible, and I'll get further on to why the Bible is a fact, but we'll keep going here. Now, whether the spiritual aspects of the Bible are fact or fiction is left up to when we die, which at that time we will undeniably know the death factor and its absolute certainty, no matter what the outcome is. Okay? So I'm going to say that again. Whether the spiritual aspects of the Bible are fact or fiction, that is left up to when we die, which at that time we will undeniably know when we die what the true death factor is and its absolute certainty. No matter what that outcome turns out to be, we will know it when we're dead. We'll know for sure. Because, it's kind of hard to tell when we're not dead if we can't see what goes on when you're dead. So now, why would Jesus' disciples go out and die under persecution for a lie? Okay, 500 people testified that Jesus rose from the dead. 500 people saw that he came back to life. There's no denying that. And I'll get to the factual parts about that in just a minute. Peter, James, and John saw Jesus ascend into heaven. Those were 3 eyewitnesses. Okay, that means that he went straight up into heaven in his full body form. Plus the eyewitness testimonies were not written as fiction, but in the same way you'd find writings done in a court case. We're going to get to that here and after this next paragraph. Okay, Jesus was either a liar, he was either delusional, or he was telling the truth as in the facts. Okay? Number 1, a liar would have ran from allowing himself to die on the cross, which he knew the day before he would be betrayed by Judas Iscariot. And also he said, I'm going to die. He said, I'm going to rebuild the temple in 3 days. He was talking about his body. He knew he was going to die. He was going to give himself up to the authorities. Even though he's an innocent man, they are killing him because he's claiming to be God. That's why they're killing him. That's the whole point, because he claims to be God. Okay, so why didn't he run when Judas Iscariot went into the Garden of Gethsemane with Roman soldiers? Why didn't Jesus knew they were going to come and get him? Jesus could have ran. He could have just ran until nobody could find him. Why didn't he run? So Jesus is either delusional or he's matter of fact. That means he's not lying. He's not a liar. If he was a liar, he would have ran. Because a person who's lying, they will run. They will run from the law. They'll lie in court. Even though the evidence or proof is against them, they will lie in court. Or they'll be given a thing saying, we'll give you if you tell us the truth, we'll give you an easier sentence, right? And some people will tell the truth. Other people, anyways. So Jesus wasn't lying. That means he was either delusional or he's a matter of fact God. So let's keep going. So this part right here is going to prove that the Bible is a fact. Whether you believe in the spiritual aspects of it or not, the rest of it is true. And this is how we're going to understand why that is. Excerpts from Robert Clifton Robertson. This is an excerpt from a journal that I read, or an article. Okay, the basis of this essay is to demonstrate by legal methods that the 4 canonical Gospels of the New Testament are both historically accurate and reliable evidence that would be recognized by any court in America as credible and truthful testimony. This certainty was proven 155 years ago by one of the world's greatest legal authorities, Dr. Simon Greenleaf, one of the founders of Harvard Law School. Dr. Greenleaf's primary work of legal scholarship is known as a treatise on the laws of evidence, which remains as one of the most important legal textbooks in American law. So, Dr. Greenleaf is one of the founders of Harvard Law School. He can look at the Bible and determine the writing style, how it was written, and whether it was fact or fiction. And so he proved it to be a work of testimonial, like you would find in a court of law. So that right there tells you as to whether or not the Bible is a fact in the way it was written. Yes, it is. Now, if you want to believe in the spiritual aspects or not, that's up to the individual person to decide that for themselves, of course. But the Bible itself, and it's the way it was written with the testimonies, yes, that is true. Okay, so... And again, I don't know if I said this before, why would Jesus' disciples go out, and die under persecution horrifically for a lie claiming that he is God? They're going around knowing that they're going to get their asses killed. Is it just something that they believed in, or was it done by miracle? Because they didn't believe he was God until he rose from the dead and then ascended into heaven. 3 of his disciples saw that. So, anyways, it's testimonial evidence. So, okay, the point about the baculum, we're back to the penis bone. The point is this: the baculum bone that was once in the male penis is somehow no longer there, which evolutionists admit to this. So how did Moses know that the baculum was no longer part of the human penis? He's not a scientist. He's not going to think about these things, right? No other religious texts from other religions speak of this. Not even the Sumerian text speaks of this in the way the Old Testament does. You can research the Sumerian text if you want to, but it conflicts with the Bible. Like I said, the Sumerians, demons could have given them a twisted scripture of what the creation story truly is. So now, Moses was not a scientist in a lab searching for evolutionary changes in the bones of mammals and humans as comparisons. So Moses wasn't on the journey to chop off, to look at every species of animals all over the world and to see whether or not they had a penis bone. He wasn't doing that. Okay? He may have seen other animals. When you eat an animal, I don't think it was kosher for them to eat a penis of an animal, so why would they? But even when a body breaks down, they're going to see all the bones in it, whether they eat it or not. But they've only got a few animals to their environment. So the ones, they're not looking at all the animals, and he's not a scientist looking at all the bones in the animals. That's not what he's doing. He's a smart man. He was a Hebrew secretly as an Egyptian, and so yes, even the Egyptians, they knew a lot about bones and even healing bones, I think, wrapping them up. But other than that, he wasn't looking for an evolutionary change in the bones of mammals and humans as a comparison. He was performing miracles and leading the Hebrew slaves out of bondage. That's what he was doing. So, evolutionists say this next part, which is very telling. Okay, here's a quote from Dr. Kit Opie. This means that any species in these groups without a penis bone, such as humans, because there's only about 3 to 5% of animals that don't have penis bones, that's a very small percentage, they must have lost it over the course of evolution. After the human lineage split from chimpanzees and bonobos, and our mating system shifted towards monogamy, probably after 2 million years, the evolutionary pressures retaining the baculum penis bone likely disappeared. This may have been the final nail in the coffin for the already diminished baculum, which was then lost in ancestral humans. So, the evolutionists are saying the reason why the baculum is no longer there is because they switched to monogamy. Okay? Because the penis bone, when other animals using it, they don't mate. They only mate like maybe once a year, whereas humans, they'll do it more than once a year, I guess. And I researched the bone, but you can research the point of the baculum if you want to. I just didn't add it into what I'm writing here. So, because everything I'm writing here, I'm writing myself except for what I'm quoting. So, okay, evolutionists say monogamy has a play in the evolutionary absence of the penis bone, the baculum. Only 3 to 5% of animals are monogamous. But I'm not sure if 3 to 5% of those have a baculum or not. I didn't research that, but I do know that 3 to 5% are monogamous, and I'm guessing that they don't have a baculum because there's just a small percentage of animals that don't, but majority of them do. So I'd have to research that one. I haven't done that yet. So anyways, I didn't think about it until just now. So God made Adam and Eve to be monogamous. Okay? Whether it was done through evolution or not, we don't know. It could have been. Which the baculum bone being spared from Adam to make Eve was done in the name of monogamy. So we'll just think on that. Because whether evolution has a part to play in this or not, in any way, shape, or form, or even adaptation by chance, the point of the Bible is spiritual. Okay, that's the point of it. It's a spiritual book. It's not a science book, even though there are scientific facts in it. It's not a book to teach you all about science all the time. It's the main goal is spiritual. Okay, so anyways, I used to think that God used evolution to create people, and the question still remains as to whether this is true or not, especially since there are no missing links to be found between humans and apes. They have found certain things that direct them and gear them towards the possibility of a link, but they still haven't quite got it yet. Who knows? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I don't know. So, anyways, but nonetheless, I believe that God made everything, no matter how he went about doing it. God breathed life into the dirt, making Adam. The dirt. The dirt. And even evolutionists will say, well, everything came from, atoms. Isn't it funny, the word atom? That's the word they use in the Bible, but they also use the word Adam, A-T-O-M, which is Adam, A-D-A-M, which is Adam. It's funny that the scientists would even take the name Adam to call an atom an atom. Anyways, because an atom is something that grows into, it's a small, tiny molecule or whatever, atomic. So, and from the dirt. And God breathed life into the dirt, making Adam, which is funny because Jesus would talk about, I'm planting my seed of truth into the dirt of humans. Humans are like the ground. I'm trying to plant something into them, whether they're going to accept it or not. That's what that parable of the sower was that I sent you, and you thought it was funny. Calling Jesus, he's like, he's a gardener, doesn't he know about gardening? So anyways, many atheists and scientists will say that life was made from nothing by taking God completely out of the equation. Scientists have no proof whatsoever on how things came about from the beginning. They only come up with hypothetical answers and theories. They cannot disprove God, yet they cannot prove God either. They can't do it in a lab. But which came first, the chicken or the egg, or the rooster or the sperm? Right? That question. A painting cannot paint itself. DNA cannot create itself. A building cannot build itself. A seed does not create itself. The flaming sun in the sky did not create itself. Sperm are alive, moving on their own. Okay? Okay, again, which came first, the male or the female? Since a chicken egg is not alive, when we put egg cartons in the fridge, then neither are human eggs or any other eggs for that matter. Eggs are a special type of dirt to be planted with the man's living seed sperm. All right? So eggs are technically, they're not alive. Well, how do they move through the ovary down into the fallopian tubes? Well, the egg doesn't move itself, and I'll explain right now. The egg, the egg becomes alive. It becomes alive when this. Okay, I'm just gonna. Okay, I'm reading what I wrote. The egg becomes alive while in the fallopian tubes when the strongest sperm pierces its way into the egg, giving it substantial meaning to the phrase human race. With the fastest, strongest sperm winning the human egg race. So when you hear the word human race, right? Those are the sperms racing to the egg. That is what the human race is. It's whatever sperm gets to that egg first won the race. That's literally what it means. You can look up human race on the internet and you can't find anything for it. I don't know why that is, which is weird because we've heard that term used for a very long time, but there's nothing there that says human race anywhere. I can't find it. It's very strange. Okay, so the egg does not move itself. Therefore, the egg is not alive. Eggs are moved by cilia, which are tiny finger-like hairs along the walls of the fallopian tubes. From there, the cilia continued to move the fertilized egg to the womb, the uterus, for implantation. And I think there's also cilia in the womb as well. The uterus, there's cilia in there, and they help it move along. Kind of like those sea anemone that little clownfish kind of hide inside of. It's like fingers like that. So, okay, what is a woman, as in WOMBIN? What is that? It's a room. It's a womb. It's a woman, WOMBIN, and it's a woman. A woman is a woman, as in there is a womb inside of the woman. Like the womb inside, womb in, right? With a sweet, roomy womb, sweet for babykins. You know, it's a room, it's a sweet sweet for babykins. Obey the bee, 'cause he puts his boy toy, rain boy, bow and arrow, poison, stinger into her egg. Tee-hee-hee. Did you catch that? What does the boy do with his little stinger, with his little busy bee stinger? He puts his boy toy, rainbow, bow and arrow, that's his pee-pee, his boy's son, poison, stinger into her egg. It's like poison. It's like muscarida, amarita, those mushrooms, like a mush womb, like a mushy womb. Are you two getting mushy in the room together? Like those poisonous mushrooms that have white and red, like red dots on the white mushroom. Like, ooh, I'm going to put my mushroom, my poisonous, like poison and boy son and poison. Anyways, I'm playing with words. It's fun. It's fun to do that. Don't you think? Anyways, according to scientists, life created itself from non-life without a consciousness. But who created non-life? As the periodic table of elements, rocks, water, air, fire, gases, solids, liquids. Scientists say that life came from the water. But where did the water come from? Scientists say that water comes from asteroids crashing into Earth. But where did the water from the asteroids come from? What is the origin of water? What is the origin of fire? What is the origin of rock? What is the origin of liquid, gas, and solids? Scientists will say the Big Bang Theory, it's a theory. It's not a fact, it's a theory, right? They say the Big Bang is the origin of life. I say Lucifer, Adam, and Eve banged the door in God's face with a big bang, as in shutting him out, right? That's what I call the Big Bang, as a Big Bang fact. They shut God out of it. They didn't want him to be a part of it anymore, even though he's the one who made it all. So who created God? Scientists will ask, well, who created God? Well, it's hard to wrap your head around it, but God is eternal without beginning or end, which is really hard to wrap your head around. But me, personally, I'm content with that kind of ultimate security. I'm fine with it. If that's a fact, then I'm good with it. Now, it's hard to wrap your head around because where did things come from anyway? Scientists, they still are wondering. But scientists, they don't believe in the spirit. So we're going to go on. Okay. Scientists, their basis is that everything came from nothing, which is illogical and unscientific, really. They cling to that straw desperately. The majority of scientists do not believe in spirit or in God because they can't physically test for the spirit in a lab. What they fail to do is simply and sincerely ask this whimsical question: God, if you are real, reveal yourself to me, right? Science is about questioning and observing and hypothesizing and making conclusions from all of those, which scientists will not ask God because they don't believe God is real. Therefore, why would they ask? Well, if you are a good scientist, you would say, what the heck? Maybe I'll just ask, right? Right? So, I asked an atheist YouTuber this question on Twitter because I was talking to an atheist for, a couple of weeks. And this is what I asked him. I said, if the God of the if the God of the Bible were to undeniably reveal himself to you, would you give him your life, since he was the one who created it? And this person, his name is Peter D. Tucker, he said, no, I wouldn't, because the God of the Bible killed people, and because the God of the Bible is not okay with subjective morality. Okay? So, when I say that scientists reject even the possibility of God, I'm doing it based on not only his answer. He's an atheist, and he goes by science, but there are many scientists who feel the same way. I'm going by what other people have said as well, with a mix of atheists and scientists. That I've heard people on YouTube, they've said things in their videos when they've been questioned about this kind of stuff, and they'll say the same thing. So that does hold water as far as me researching that kind of stuff with scientists. And me making a hypothesis of, well, I think scientists will sweep archaeological evidence of dinosaurs living with humans. They'll sweep it under the rug and not put it into schools, is because the Bible itself speaks of dinosaurs living with humans. Okay? And I think that they just don't want it. They don't want to have anything to do with it. Like Peter D. Tucker said, if God showed himself to me, I would not give myself back to him. Okay? But he wouldn't. Okay, so, we're almost done. Although rare, there are some scientists who do believe in God, and they are usually mocked by their peers for their belief. But the question still remains as to what happens when we die. Right? That's what I'm most interested in, is what happens when we die. That's me personally, right? I'm not so concerned about how the earth was made and all this other stuff. I'm more concerned about what happens when we die, you know? Because no matter what we want to believe, and no matter what we think we want to believe, and no matter who we think God is, do we really know who he is for sure? You know? That's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of, because I don't want to end up dying and then go, oh shit, I was wrong about God, right? So, anyways, this spare rib front side penis boner thingy-majiggy baculum is amazing and worth learning about, especially when we make female barbecue sauce. Female barbecue sauce, you know, like barbecue sauce, but it's Barbie, like a Barbie doll. With that spare rib penis, and finish it off with a tall, handsome, cool Budweiser beer, bare booty man in the booty moon moony, right? We're gonna have some spare rib penis rib with some cute Barbie cute sauce, female barbecue sauce, and then we're gonna wash it down with a cool Budweiser beer, man in the moony booty, bare butt booty moony. Okay, so anyways, I'm just being silly. And since we're talking about the penis rib and barbecue schnosh, I think you will like this SNL skit, which is hilarious when it says, would you eat the moon, coccyx tailbone, if it were made of spare rib, penises, with barbecue sauce, barbecued sauce? I don't know, would you? So I hope this all makes sense to you. And the end of this video, you can watch. I'm going to put the Saturday Night Live video because it's funny if you want to watch it. And I hope you all enjoyed the video because I make it for everybody, even though I was inspired by my friend to do it. And okay,